Hello, this is Andy from SwissAAA.org. We are here today at Thoron AG in Steinen, Schwyz, Switzerland. Thoron is the importer of Daniel Defense products to Switzerland. And since about a bit more than 1 year, Daniel Defense actually has a pistol. They are known for their rifles, but now they also market the pistol. It's the Daniel H9 that I have here, and we are going to do a practical test on that pistol. Let's see how that goes. That's what you get if you buy the Daniel H9, so it comes in this nice box. It's the pistol itself. It has a total of 3 magazines and of course instructions with a ton of warnings, but also there is a voucher for an optics plate, a free optics plate for your pistol. Summarized, one could say the Daniel H9 is a 1911 inspired gun, but with a striker fire mechanism, and of course some other enhancements like firing pin safety, like trigger safety, and optics ready slide and so on. So let's have a bit a closer look. So the grip is made from aluminium. It's very nicely crafted, 2 side panels out of G10 material. Then the magazine button is on the right side, can be switched over. The magazine is 15 rounds capacity, it's very compact. The magazine well is a little bit angled, but not a lot, so you have to be quite precise when inserting the magazine. Then the trigger here is a straight back trigger, so as you know from the 1911s, with the difference it has actually a trigger safety, so the trigger cannot move back unless you actually press the trigger safety with your finger. Then we have here the beaver tail. It's a characteristic of 1911s, but the beaver tail here on the Daniel H9 has no function, so there's no hand grip safety or something. So it's just here to have a faster grip when drawing and to protect your hand when the slide cycles. Speaking about the slide, so the gun is designed such that the barrel axis is quite low, and so this beaver tail actually has a function, so nothing will, you can't, even if you have a high grip and a meaty hand, then you should not get hurt by the slide. Speaking about low bore axis, you see here the dust cover, it comes quite low, and the recoil spring is also at a low position to allow this low barrel axis or bore axis, which should of course reduce the flip of the pistol and have more of a straight back recoil. The slide lock is ambidextrous. The pistol is optics ready. As I said before, you can have 4. As I said before, there is a voucher for a plate. There are 4 different plates that will fit a lot of the optics that are on the market. You have steel open sights installed on dovetails on the slide. The dovetails should be the same dimensions as the SIG P series pistols. So if you want to change, you can interchange the sights. It's a U-notch rear sight, and it's a front sight with a green fiber insert. Yeah, so that's about it for the quick description of the gun. Let's see how it performs. Let's see how the Daniel H9 actually shoots. and what I can tell you about it. So I have 3 full magazines. I filled them up to the full capacity to see whether that works well. And I'm at 10 meters here. I have 2 CMA targets, paper targets in front, and I'm gonna load the gun here. What I'm going to do first is from the ready position just shoot 1 round at the left target. You can't see it, but you just have to believe me here, right? So if I'm here, so once I actually pay attention to the front sight, it works quite well. So the trigger, if you dry fire to overcome the trigger safety, it is a bit scratchy, but actually when you shoot, you don't really feel any of that. So actually you overcome the trigger safety, then you are at the pressure point, and then the shot goes. So trigger weight that I measured is about 2.2 kilos, which is fine for sport shooting. For self-defense it's still okay. So there's nothing wrong with that trigger, even if it looks a bit weird. So let's make a transition. And it shoots well. I mean, there's still recoil. Let's see when I do a double tap. Yeah, actually, if I do my part, it shoots well. So can I really feel a huge difference of this low bore axis and all that? No, but it seems to work okay. Okay, so let's work from the holster. I have my timer ready. Speaking about holsters, so as the pistol is new and the design is unique, so there is a bit not a huge variety of holsters available. In Switzerland it's at the moment none. So I have 1 holster coming over from the States, but it hasn't made it in time. So I just go forward with a general purpose holster. It's not really made for the gun, but for this test it's okay. Of course, as the pistol will gain popularity, the holster supply will also increase, one can hope, right? So let's see what I can do from the holster. 1 round. .186, that's fine. I mean, I have to practice, of course. I'm not the fastest. Yeah, that's not too bad. 94. Let's do a double tap. So that's 189, and the split is 27, which is okay, and they are all in the 0. Let's do an empty chamber draw and fire 2 rounds. So what I'm doing is, so that's empty, put the full magazine in, and let's see how that goes. Wasn't brilliant. 288 the last round. Let's see. I want a full magazine. I have another one. That's full. Let's do that again. It works, but I have to get used to the dimensions and the slide. As it's low and the serrations are not very pronounced, it's kind of difficult to get a good grip on the slide, so that needs to be trained because there's not a lot of material and you tend to slip unless you really make a vise with your hand. So that was empty chamber draw. Let's do a magazine change. So what I'm doing, if the gun can still fire, I actually keep the magazine that I take out of the gun with me, because there's no real pressure to shoot as fast as possible, so I can do that. Let's do from the ready position 2 on the one target, magazine change 2 on the other one. Let's see. Yeah, let's do it again. Took me what for the change? Let's see, 3:35. That we can do faster. I hope. That was faster and it felt better as well. Let's see. Yeah, it's 288. So my goal would be to get to 2.5 or a bit lower. Just takes practice. Here you have to be quite precise to hit the magazine well. So that's something that with my other guns it might be a bit easier, but I have to just practice with the Daniel H9. Emergency reload. So I have 2 in the gun. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna fire 2. Then the gun is empty. Emergency reload, another 2 on the other target. So in this case, the gun cannot fire anymore after the 2 rounds. So my priority is to fire as fast as possible. So I'm not gonna fumble around with keeping the magazine or something. I just drop it. By the way, if you practice these things, you should always go for correct movement, of course, then hits and time. So you can't see my hits, so you just have to believe me here. Maybe I'm cheating a little, maybe not. So, but always do all of those, not just be fast, because everybody can shoot fast, right? But hitting fast is what we are really after. Let's see. So 2, emergency reload 2. We might get friends after all. That one felt much better. So it's a 247. So here, ideally, I would go below 2 eventually if I practice enough. So let's do that again. Yeah. So 2 are in. That felt much better. So yeah, getting used to the field. So that's a 212. So I'm close to where I actually want to be. Let's simulate a simple malfunction. So as I'm prepared, I have an empty chamber and some rounds in the mag. I'm gonna draw, make a click or nothing, tap rack and bang. So I'm not gonna time this. Well, I'm gonna do it. Give me just the start signal, that's fine. So let's see. It's okay, but again, the slide, to grab the slide, it takes some getting used to, but it wasn't really bad or anything. Let's see. Let's do that again. If I do my part, it works. What I'm gonna do is from the ready position with my right hand make 2, hand switch 2, switch the hand again 2, and once more. Let's see how that goes. A bit more ammo. I give myself a start signal, doesn't hurt. Yeah, so the weak hand is a little bit weaker. There's one in the one, the rest looks okay. So I'm now at 20 meters and let's see whether I can do a reasonably tight group at that distance. I'm gonna fire 5 at the right target. Let's see. That felt okay. Let's go have a look. It's not really brilliant, but they're still all in the 0. So I can't really see the front sight anymore, but I should maybe switch to an optic. And it's not brilliant, but could be worse, right? Disassembly and reassembly. So just check the gun, it's empty. What you have to do is you have to actually decock the gun, then pull the slide back a little bit. There's 2 disassembly levers, pull them down and the slide comes off. Simple enough. Recoil spring, barrel. To disassemble the magazine, push in the large button on the base plate. Base plate comes off. Follower, spring are out, easy. Then do the same in the reverse. Base plate comes on, barrel goes in, well maybe. Get the spring in the right position. That's a bit tricky, that should be the right one. Slide goes on, that's your gun reassembled. No chain links, no slide stops to fit in, no fiddling around, no fumbling, easy, no tools necessary, that's it. Conclusion of the test of the Daniel H9. The first impression you get, it's a very compact gun. If you take it into your hand, it's very handy, very compact, even if it has a 15 round capacity and a 109mm barrel. So it's not a subcompact, it's not a small gun, but it feels small. Then the handling of the gun, it's very easy. So all the controls, slide stop, magazine release, sights, everything works as expected. Grip angle you have to adjust a little bit, maybe depending on what you're used to, but it's all manageable. There's 2 points you have to pay attention. One is the inserting magazine, so it's quite narrow, so you have to actually aim when making a magazine change or an emergency reload. And the second thing is the slide is not very grippy, and so it's there you have to pay attention how you grip the slide if you have to make a fast rack of the slide. Otherwise everything works, everything is as expected. Trigger is good, handling is good, I have no complaints. The reliability, of course, from the history of the predecessor, there's a lot of talk about reliability. So I have now in total shot at least 500 rounds through the gun, and I have had no malfunction. So not with full magazines, not with half full, I shot different ammunition, 9mm ammunition that is available, so I have no complaints about the reliability of the gun. For what can we use it? So it's certainly quite well suited for concealed carry self-defense. We cannot do that in Switzerland, so we can use it for sport shooting, where it's also suitable. So it can do both. It's not a race gun, it's not tuned to the maximum, but I kind of like that, and I like to shoot normal serial guns without fancy parts and fancy tuning in competition. And I like to be doing adequately well with such guns. So that's it. Daniel H9, no problems, interesting gun, very innovative gun, it's a different gun, so I can recommend it, and for me it makes fun to shoot it.